Meet David. He's the most reliable guy you know, the one who will stay late to help a colleague and never say no to a friend. But David is completely burned out, and asking for help feels impossible. He doesn't realize this isn't a character flaw. It's a survival skill he learned as a little boy whose feelings were invisible. Childhood emotional neglect isn't about what parents did, it's about what was missing, the emotional presence every child needs. When that's not there, it creates invisible wounds that can follow a boy into manhood. In this video, we'll break down the 8 common behaviors men show when they grew up with emotional neglect. Behavior number 1, chronic people-pleasing. First is a deep-seated need to please others, often at his own expense. For a man like David, this looks like being physically unable to say no. He's the guy who apologizes for things that aren't his fault and works hard to make sure no one is ever upset. This stems from a childhood where love and attention felt conditional. When a kid only gets praise for performing, they learn a dangerous lesson. My worth comes from what I do, not who I am. This isn't sustainable and almost always leads to burnout. Your value is not defined by your usefulness to others. Behavior number 2, hyperindependence. Here's the paradox. While he is the first to offer help, he's the last to ask for it. This is hyperindependence. Emotionally neglected men often refuse support even when they're drowning in stress. Whether at work or at home, David would rather fail in silence than ask for help. As a boy, he learned the painful lesson that no one is really coming to help me. When a child learns their needs are an inconvenience, they decide that relying on anyone is unsafe. As an adult, asking for help feels like admitting weakness. This self-reliance is the armor you built when you had to be your own hero. Behavior number 3, difficulty identifying and naming emotions. When David's partner asks him what's wrong, his answer is almost always vague. I'm stressed, or the classic, I'm fine. He genuinely doesn't know how to describe the feelings inside him. This happens because he missed out on emotional attunement, where a parent sees a child's feelings and gives them a name. Without that mirror, a child never develops the vocabulary to understand their own emotional world. As an adult, this makes it incredibly hard to communicate his needs, which can be frustrating for both him and his partner. If you struggle to find the right words for your feelings, it's because you were never taught the language. Which of these first 3 behaviors feels most like you? Comment 1, 2, or 3. Behavior number 4, emotional numbness and shutdown. When a conversation gets emotional, David's instinct is to shut down. He might go completely silent or get a blank look on his face. This isn't indifference. It's an automatic defense mechanism. This numbness was his armor. In a home where crying got you told to man up, shutting down was the only way to feel safe. The child learns that feelings are useless or even dangerous. As an adult, that old programming kicks in. The shutdown isn't a choice to be withholding. It's a reflex to retreat to the only safe place he ever knew. The wall you built to protect yourself now keeps connection out. Behavior number 5, anger as the go-to emotion. While David has trouble with sadness or fear, one emotion is always ready: anger. He might snap over a tiny inconvenience or have a reaction that seems way too big for the problem. Why? Because in many homes, sadness was seen as weakness and fear was dismissed, but anger commanded attention. The boy learns that anger is the one masculine emotion that's both acceptable and effective. As an adult, when underlying feelings like hurt or shame get too uncomfortable, they get quickly converted into anger. This can do a lot of damage to relationships because loved ones only see the rage, not the hidden pain fueling it. Anger is often just hurt or fear in a different uniform. Behavior number 6, a persistent feeling of emptiness. The result of all these behaviors is often a deep internal loneliness. even when surrounded by people who love him, David often feels like he's on the outside looking in, separated by an invisible wall. This nagging feeling of emptiness is one of the most common wounds of emotional neglect. It comes from the fact that his own core self was never truly seen as a child. When a parent doesn't acknowledge a child's inner life, the child learns that a part of them is meant to be invisible. As an adult, he might know in his head that he's loved, but he can't feel it, leaving him with a persistent feeling that he's fundamentally on his own. If you've ever felt that emptiness around people you love, it doesn't mean you're empty. It means a part of you was never seen. Behavior number 7, minimizing his own pain. Ask David about his childhood, and he's quick to say, "It wasn't that bad." This habit of minimizing his own pain is another defense he learned in a home where his feelings were treated as an overreaction. When a child's sadness is constantly dismissed, they learn to dismiss it themselves. They internalize the message that their pain isn't valid. As an adult, this man will downplay his own struggles because he feels like he doesn't have the right to his feelings. If you downplay your own pain, it's not because it isn't real. It's because you were taught to ignore it. Behavior number 8, extreme sensitivity to rejection. Despite his tough exterior, David is incredibly sensitive to anything that feels like rejection. A slightly critical comment or a friend not texting back can trigger a deep-seated fear of abandonment. This isn't being thin-skinned. It's a direct wound from childhood. When a child's emotional self is met with indifference, it feels like the ultimate rejection. The child's brain doesn't think, "My parents are struggling." It thinks, "Something must be wrong with me." As an adult, he's left on high alert for any sign that someone might disapprove of him. Your sensitivity to rejection isn't a weakness. It's an echo of an old wound. The wake-up call for David comes when his partner says, "I feel so alone. It feels like you've built a wall I can't get through." For the first time, he sees his emotional distance not as strength, but as the very thing destroying the connection he wants. Recognizing these behaviors is the first, most powerful step. These are not character flaws. They are brilliant adaptations that allowed a little boy to survive an environment that couldn't see him. Healing starts with the courageous act of turning inward. If you recognize yourself in this, start small. Once a day, pause and ask, "What am I feeling right now?" The truth is, you weren't too sensitive. You were simply left alone with feelings too big to hold by yourself. Healing from emotional neglect is a journey of reconnecting with yourself. It's uncomfortable, but it's the only way to finally feel safe in your own skin and in your relationships. A great place to start is by learning to validate your own feelings. Consider looking for a therapist who specializes in childhood trauma or neglect. A professional guide can provide a safe space to finally take that wall down. Thank you for watching. If you want more simple, stick figure breakdowns like this, subscribe so you don't have to untangle this alone.